Good morning and happy Thursday, April 16th. Hopefully you were able to get outside yesterday and enjoy another good spring day because, as you might see, if you look outside, it's not going to be as great today or the next couple days, such as the spring in Colorado. If you didn't see Instagram yesterday, I wanted to update you on our April Madness. Okay, we got Quarantine in first, obviously. Jackson Alone in second, Trainwreckers, followed by Tiger Corn Kings, followed by Gym Rats to Alley Cats, and Flexual Healing bringing up the rear there. Just want to reiterate, though, the latter teams are not out of it, and I will say that even confidently in first place. Remember how you can make up that ground. Zoom calls are obviously the bulk of this and the most important. However, King of the Hill, if by chance you take a goose egg there, that can really affect it. So just make sure you're doing those workouts if you were nominated by your coach. And then last but not least, the Support Your Local Box fundraiser from the CrossFit Games website. Remember, if you do all three of those and log it, that's a real oddball that'll tip the score kind of in the end quite a bit, because that's worth 50 points for any person that goes into the site and logs all three of those workouts. Again, we're doing those on Monday already. They've already been programmed. You probably already have done some of them. So they will be counted in the end. Go on there, sign up. It is free. If you want it to be, you can also throw a donation to CrossFit Train while you're there. But again, that's not required. All right, let's go ahead and talk about today. Coming back on over to the board, we're going to be doing a couple of things, okay? First and foremost, we're going to be working on a Turkish get-up. So what we're going for today is not necessarily volume or speed or anything like that. We're just going to be building it up and really working on quality and working on the skills or the bits and pieces of the Turkish get-up. I'll talk about those in a second. Coach is going to give you about 12 minutes to do 10 on each arm. That's not very many in 12 minutes. It's not an arduous pace. Just make sure you're focusing on what we talk about there. Then we're going to get into a 15-minute AMRAP, 100 kettlebell swings. Those will be American unless we talk about you doing something otherwise. Maybe that's because of equipment. You don't quite feel comfortable swinging whatever you have overhead. That might be a dumbbell or a backpack or whatnot. Followed by 75 goblet squats. Remember, goblet, basically kind of like that front rack position, be it a dumbbell, a kettlebell, slam ball, backpack, whatever you have. Followed by 50 goblet lunges. So 75 goblet squats, 50 goblet lunges, again in that goblet position with the squat, obviously squatting. Okay, with the lunge, you'll be alternating lunges, tapping that back knee, nice vertical shin in front. Okay, 15 minutes is a lot of time. Break this up, be smart about it, but continue to move. You shouldn't take long breaks here. Let's go ahead and talk about these movements, starting with the Turkish get-up. Okay, the Turkish get-up today. I don't know if you guys remember back, but a couple months ago, we had something like this programmed in the box where we saw people getting creative and doing Turkish get-ups with children and barbells and odd objects. No better time than the present, because that's what you have near and close to you. So obviously being safe in your small spaces. If you decide to use a barbell in your kitchen, don't take out the chandelier or your significant other's face. But obviously find some space and get creative with this to make it challenging so that you can emphasize the points we're about to drill home. First and foremost, let's talk about how it would look from a standard, just a kettlebell as we would usually use, but then I'll show you kind of what it looks like with some unique objects. Okay, we can start from the top or the bottom. Let's go ahead and try to start from the bottom today as a standard across the board. That is where we're supposed to start the Turkish get-up. However, sometimes we do start from the top. So if we're starting from the bottom, we're gonna find a nice press straight up. Your same leg that is pressing, so if it's your right arm, your right leg is gonna plant. The next focus will be to lean into your arm, finding balance here with your left arm. A very important piece next is to start sweeping your foot underneath, okay? That is gonna be vital as you press up on your arm to then get your balance over what is now your back leg or your left leg, okay? A lot of times what we see is this knee planted, we come up, and then we're pressing already before we sweep through. The limitation to that is we have a lot of weight overhead and now a lot of pressure on our elbow. So before you transition to pressing out of that palm, I want you to think about sweeping this foot or this leg underneath, okay? So again, looks like this. Up, planted leg, over, sweeping through as I press, standing all all the way up, okay? Another focus here is looking up at this kettlebell and keeping this arm close, not letting it fade out to the side. Good active shoulder as you press, okay? That is only half of the rep. We're gonna go ahead and finish it out by going back down. So it's the exact reverse. So now it's gonna be my opposite leg that goes back into a lunge, okay? I'm still looking up at this while I'm still trying to keep eye contact with you. I'm gonna go down to my palm as I swing my leg through, transition down to that elbow, and I'm back to the ground. Okay, I'm gonna do that in full speed, one full rep, just so you can observe those points of performance again. One full rep, okay? Like I said previously, let's get creative. Let's increase the weight and the difficulty as we go. One way to do that, why not a barbell? It's a challenge. It's all about balance, probably strength as well. Boom. Okay. Would really love to see some videos today posted to social. Tag us there so that we can see what you're getting creative with and challenging yourself with. But please remember safety first. No drywall patches. Have fun with it. Build it up as we go. Finally, of course, the workout. 15-minute AMRAP, 100 kettlebell swings American, 75 goblet squats, and 50 goblet lunges. The kettlebell swing today is American, okay? Remember, it's all in the hips, not in the arms. So, good base, feet right underneath / outside the hips. Remember, our hip hinge is important. Sending our hips back, not squatting, okay? So hips back, little pop to kind of get it going, all the way up overhead. Head through that window, okay? We're not breaking our wrists up top. We're not letting this thing hang down. We're going with the flow, straight up overhead. Tight core, squeezing our glutes up top. From the side, looks like this. $100 of these. Obviously, none of you have extremely heavy kettlebells, but you may be limited in what your choice is. So if it's 44, 50, 3-pound kettlebell, that can get really heavy. Think about how you're gonna break it up. Coach will talk to you about that. If we have a dumbbell for the kettlebell swing, same thing. It's gonna be a little harder, but you're gonna hold it by the head, send those hips back the same way. Finishing nice and tight, up overhead. The challenge is going up all the way overhead sometimes. Make sure you're locked in, kind of crossing your fingers on the dumbbell head there. If you have an odd object, maybe it's a slam ball, this can still happen, okay? All the way up overhead, kind of like you're gonna do a slam ball, but you're catching it back in the hand, okay? Last but not least, our goblet options today. Same thing, this will be a lot easier than the kettlebell swing to modify across objects. Remember, we get that object in the goblet rack, so in front here, holding the head of the dumbbell, the base of the kettlebell, whatever it might be. The squats, 75 of them to start. Hips back, get all the way below parallel, stand all the way up. From the side, hips back, all the way up. Again, gonna be a burner, especially if you've done that King of the Hill this week. The lunge is in the same position. Important that we keep that front shin vertical and we tap that back leg. We're alternating sides, making sure I'm driving that knee out, tapping that back one. From the side, that would look like this. Okay? When I do lunges, I prefer to walk and not do them in place. Depending on your space, you choose your choice. For a warm-up today, we're gonna go through 2 times. 30 high knees, 30 butt kickers, 20 walking lunges, 20 bend and bows, 10 plank shoulder taps, 10 glute bridges. You clearly should know what high knees and butt kickers are. Also walking lunges, the bend and bows. Okay, we're down, touch those toes. Here we go, bend and bow, okay? Next, the plank shoulder taps. You've seen this in some of the programming to kind of get those shoulders warm, but you're in a good plank position, just tapping each shoulder. Okay, last but not least, glute bridges to get those hips nice and ready to pop that kettlebell. We're on the floor here, thinking about really squeezing those glutes up top. From the side, squeezing those glutes. Go get them, people. It's gonna be a long one, 15 minutes. Continue to move, no long breaks today. Have an awesome Thursday.